Time for prayer.
O worthy God, the preserver and protector of all, you are without beginning and without end, non-dual, beyond comparison, and none can measure you. You are without color, without expression, without form, and without attributes. You are unlimited and unfathomable, beyond imagination and conception, eternal and imperishable. You are indivisible, and none can see you but with eyes divine. You always were, you always are, and you always will be. You are everywhere, you are in everything, and you are also beyond everywhere and beyond everything. You are in the firmament and in the depths. You are manifest and unmanifest, on all planes and beyond all planes. You are in the three worlds and also beyond the three worlds. You are imperceptible and independent. You are the Creator, the Lord of Lords, the knower of all minds and hearts. You are omnipotent and omnipresent. You are knowledge infinite, power infinite, and bliss infinite. You are the ocean of knowledge, all-knowing, infinitely knowing, the knower of the past, the present, and the future, and you are knowledge itself. You are all-merciful and eternally benevolent. You are the soul of souls, the one with infinite attributes. You are the Trinity of truth, knowledge, and bliss. You are the source of truth, the ocean of love. You are the Ancient One, the highest of the high. You are Prabhu and Parameshwar. You are the beyond God and the beyond God also. You are Parabrahma, Allah, Ilahi, Yasan, Ahura Mazda, and God the Beloved. You are named Isa, the only one worthy of worship. We repent, O God, most merciful, for all our sins, for every thought that was false or unjust or unclean, for every word spoken that ought not to have been spoken, for every deed done that ought not to have been done. We repent for every deed and word and thought inspired by selfishness, and for every deed and word and thought inspired by hatred. We repent most especially for every lustful thought and every lustful action, for every lie, for all hypocrisy, for every promise given but not fulfilled, and for all slander and backbiting. Most especially also we repent for every action that has brought ruin to others, for every word and deed that has given others pain, and for every wish that pain should befall others. In your unbounded mercy, we ask you to forgive us, O God, for all these sins committed by us, and to forgive us for our constant failures to think and speak and act according to your will. Beloved God, help us all to love you more and more, and more and more, and still yet more, till we become worthy of union with you, and help us all to hold fast to Baba's Dhamma till the very end. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai.
Till you, the ever Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Arti. Good afternoon or evening, whichever it may be. I'm going to post instructions on how to digitally raise your hand if you wish to share something. I think I'll start off with playing a song, and then we'll get some hands in the queue, if that's okay. I was thinking of how much I used to like this band called the Moody Blues, and I know that Jack was very fond of them, so I'm going to play Nights in White Satin by the Moody Blues. Nights in white satin, never reaching the end. Letters I've written, never meaning to send. Beauty I've always missed with these eyes before. Just what the truth is, I can't say anymore, 'cause I love you. Yes, I love you. Oh, how I love you. Gazing at people, some hand in hand. Just what I'm going through, they can't understand. Some try to tell me thoughts they cannot defend. Just what you want to be, you'll be in the end. 'Cause I love you. Yes, I love you. Nights in white satin, never reaching the end. Letters I've written, never meaning to send. Beauty I've always missed with these eyes before. Just what the truth is, I can't say anymore. 'Cause I love you. Yes, I love you. Oh, how I love you. Oh, how I love you. Jai Baba. Roshni?
Jai Baba, everyone. We have Alan Ray. I would love to sing after that. Alan Ray, please unmute.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, but someone's gone before you, Alan Ray.
There's something wrong with my volume, but you can hear me okay?
Yeah, but there's someone sharing before you.
I'm sorry?
There's someone going to share before you.
Oh, I
no,
thought
Alan,
Roshani introduced
Alan
me.
Ray, yes. We had his hand first, Joe.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Sorry, Ellen Ray.
Thank you, Joe. Jai Baba, everyone, especially those who are with us from India and other parts of the East. Jai Baba. So, I'm going to be singing a little chant. Join in if you like. Rejoice in the Lord always, and again I say rejoice. Rejoice in the Lord always, and again I say rejoice. Rejoice, rejoice, and again I say rejoice. Rejoice, rejoice, and again I say rejoice. Rejoice in the Lord always, and again I say rejoice. Rejoice in the Lord always, and again I say rejoice. Rejoice, rejoice, and again I say rejoice. Rejoice, rejoice, and again I say rejoice. Rejoice in the Lord always, and again I say rejoice. Avtar Meher Baba ki jai.
Thank you, Alan Ray. Beautiful.
You bet. My pleasure.
So I would like to sing.
Thank you, Roshani.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba. On this beautiful day of International Teachers' Day, I would say happy awakening day to our eternal beloved Baba from all of us. Ustad Dhanyavad, 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 Ustad Dhanyavad. Oh Meher, Dhanyavad Meher, Dhanyavad Meher, Dhanyavad Meher. Oh Meher, Dhanyavad Meher, Dhanyavad Meher, Dhanyavad Meher. Zartush Dhanyavad, Zartush Dhanyavad, Zartush Dhanyavad, Zartush Dhanyavad. Auramaz Dhanyavad, Auramaz Dhanyavad, Auramaz Dhanyavad, Auramaz Dhanyavad. Oh Meher, Dhanyavad Meher, Dhanyavad Meher, Dhanyavad Meher. Oh Meher, Dhanyavad Meher, Dhanyavad Meher, Dhanyavad Meher. Rama Dhanyavad, Rama Dhanyavad, Rama Dhanyavad, Rama Dhanyavad. Krishna Dhanyavad, Krishna Dhanyavad, Krishna Dhanyavad, Krishna Dhanyavad. Oh Meher, Dhanyavad Meher, Dhanyavad Meher, Dhanyavad Meher. Oh Meher, Dhanyavad Meher, Dhanyavad Meher, Dhanyavad Meher. Jesus Dhanyavad, Jesus Dhanyavad, Jesus Dhanyavad, Jesus Dhanyavad. Buddha Dhanyavad, Buddha Dhanyavad, Buddha Dhanyavad, Buddha Dhanyavad. Oh Meher, Dhanyavad Meher, Dhanyavad Meher, Dhanyavad Meher. Oh Meher, Dhanyavad Meher, Dhanyavad Meher, Dhanyavad Meher. Allah Dhanyavad, Allah Dhanyavad, Allah Dhanyavad, Allah Dhanyavad. Muhammad Dhanyavad, Muhammad Dhanyavad, Mohammed Dhanyavad, Mohammed Dhanyavad. Oh Meher, Dhanyavad Meher, Dhanyavad Meher, Dhanyavad Meher. Oh Meher, Dhanyavad Meher, Dhanyavad Meher, Dhanyavad Meher. Baba Dhanyavad, Baba Dhanyavad, Baba Dhanyavad, Baba Dhanyavad. Meher Baba Dhanyavad, Meher Baba Dhanyavad, Meher Baba Dhanyavad, Meher Baba Dhanyavad. Oh Meher Dhanyavad Meher, Dhanyavad Meher, Dhanyavad Meher. Oh Meher Dhanyavad Meher, Dhanyavad Meher, Dhanyavad Meher. Ustad Dhanyavad, Ustad Dhanyavad, Ustad Dhanyavad, Ustad Dhanyavad. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai.
Hey, Baba. Beautiful, Rashni. Everybody was singing along with you. All right, Michelle, go ahead. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, good morning from Chicago. Good evening, everyone in India. And I see Dr. Ann there. Hi, Jai Baba. I think that's you. Hi, Jai Baba. So anyway, dreaming about India. Slow to speak. Not a day goes by without thinking about the journey and the dust. With my sights on Mehrabad, await your call I must. Even when I'm driving down that freeway, there's so much in this world to do. I'm thinking of your samadhi and the time that its threshold will be in view. And I'll fall at your lotus feet, 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 and I'll fall at your lotus feet. You are everywhere and in everything, close to my very breath. Your love is flowing endlessly, and it's in my heart is where you rest. Climbing seclusion hills of memory, windy, hot, and far away. It's where I long to be, and when it is your will, I'll be there all the day. And I'll fall at your lotus feet, 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 and I'll fall at your lotus feet. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. In my mind's eye there's a vision of that road lined with banyan trees. Past the gate, the sweetness of being greeted by your dear Mandali. And that sign, simple and unassuming, samadhi way up, pointing to our heart's journey's end. And it's there where I fill my empty cup, and I fall at your lotus feet, and I'll 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 fall at your lotus feet. Jai Meher Baba.
Beautiful, Michelle. I love that song.
Tune in on Tuesday after Arti, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'll be doing an hour or so of sharing Baba's love with you all, and I hope you can come and listen. Jai Baba.
Wonderful. Rashni?
Baba. Yes. Bhikkhu, will you unmute yourself? Bhikkhu, are you ready? Will you unmute? Okay. Utakshi and Marukanti, are you ready?
Hello, Jai Baba.
जय मेहर बाबा। जग में सुंदर है एक नाम, मेहर बाबा जिनका नाम, जो थे पहले अपने राम, जो थे पहले अपने श्याम, अब है मेहर उनका नाम। बोलो बोलो मेहर नाम, बोलो बोलो मेहर नाम। जग में सुंदर है एक नाम, मेहर बाबा जिनका नाम, जो थे पहले अपने राम, जो थे पहले अपने श्याम, अब है मेहर उनका नाम। बोलो बोलो मेहर नाम, बोलो बोलो मेहर नाम। बाज गुरु का मेहर प्यारा, बना जगत का पालनहारा। बाज गुरु का मेहर प्यारा, बना जगत का पालनहारा। वो तो प्रेम का भूखा भाई, वो तो प्रेम का भूखा भाई, वो तो प्रेम का भूखा भाई। जप लो उनका नाम, मेहर बाबा जिनका नाम, मेहर बाबा उनका नाम। बोलो बोलो मेहर नाम। जग में सुंदर है एक नाम, मेहर बाबा जिनका नाम, जो थे पहले अपने राम, जो थे पहले अपने श्याम, है मेहर उनका नाम, अब है मेहर उनका नाम। बोलो बोलो मेहर नाम, बोलो बोलो मेहर नाम। इस युग के अवतार है बाबा, आज पुरुष है मेहर बाबा। इस युग के अवतार है बाबा, आज पुरुष है मेहर बाबा। यही समय उनसे मिलने का, यही समय उनसे मिलने का, यही समय उनसे मिलने का। बजलो उनका नाम, मेहर बाबा जिनका नाम, मेहर बाबा जिनका नाम। बोलो बोलो मेहर नाम, बोलो बोलो मेहर नाम। संकट की इस घड़ी में मेहर आप हमारे रखवाले हैं। संकट की इस घड़ी में मेहर आप हमारे रखवाले हैं। तुम बिन मेहर कोई नहीं है, में हर कोई नहीं है, तुम बिन में हर कोई नहीं है, कैसे पाए आराम। अब आ जाओ अपने धाम, अब आ जाओ अपने धाम। बोलो बोलो मेहर नाम, बोलो बोलो मेहर नाम। जग में सुंदर है एक नाम, मेहर बाबा जिनका नाम। जो थे पहले अपने राम, जो थे पहले अपने श्याम। अब है मेहर उनका नाम, अब है मेहर उनका नाम। बोलो बोलो मेहर नाम, बोलो बोलो मेहर नाम, बोलो बोलो मेहर नाम। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
Beautiful. Go ahead, Jack.
Hey, hi, Dr. Ann. Good to see you. Hope to see you again after this COVID's over with. I borrowed, this is guzzle number 41. I borrowed the title from the Platters. Only You. Oh, beloved, there is no way that I can ever forget you in my experience as a human being. No matter how many lives this takes, nor do I ever wish to stop loving you through all the good times and the bad. For when it's all said and done, you are the only one I really have and on to hold, even when the attractions of the world pursue me down the days untold. For it's only you who can bring me in from the push and pull of illusions cold, and flush my mind of ignorance's bane, as you warm my beating heart to fashion me into your likeness mold. For no matter how many times I turn away because of ignorance and false ego demand, wander off thinking too much in my head, bless you, beloved, you present no reprimand. It's not that I wish to forget to remember, for I do try to fulfill your command. It's just that this ego-driven will wins over my heart, and once more I feel I fall behind and am left out of your wild, holy traveling band. To do the simple thing is often the hardest, yet your compassion for my insanity ever seems to flow. How can I not in turn continue to try? For one look at your smiling face emits from me a remorseful cry that eases my heart from Maya's blows. Oh, be careful, my dear Ambrose, not to defiantly falter, especially when you don't get your way. For who are you to question the beloved, most especially at my heart's altar, who works to guide you day after day after day? Oh, beloved, this thinking only causes me the utmost trouble. I trap myself in the most revolting developments and suffer you to reduce this willful ego to insignificant rubble. Then I forget again, entangle myself in more and more karmic entanglements. Why, oh beloved, can you not bestow your everlasting kiss on this poor demented fool? For there is nothing in this madding world I really care to embrace except your loving arms. So pray tell, am I being remiss, continuing to be a stubborn mule, eternally longing to kiss you face to face? I cannot even imagine what it must have been like to be in Rumi's place. Then that almost perfected man, a beautiful and bewildering jargon, whose urgent plea for his beloved's kiss was met with this serious brace. Even if it would cost you your life? Smilingly replied, my life? What a bargain. O lover and lovers of mine, it is only me who exist for only you. Listen to this and listen to me. In all of the worlds of my creation, only you are amongst the very few. It is only by your love and your obedience and your surrender, no matter the distance, whether near or far, all your falseness, all your sanskars, I will gladly render and gloriously welcome you home to my darbar. Thank you.
Beautiful, Jack. Jai Baba, thank you. Rashni?
Jai Baba. Bhikkhu, please unmute.
Hello. Jai Baba.
We
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Jai Baba, everyone. This is the first bhajan which was written by Madhusudan after he met Baba for the first time on 21st August 1949. तोरे दर्श से हर्ष भयो, तोरे दर्श से हर्ष भयो, मेहरबा दीन आधार, मेहरबा दीन आधार, तोरे दर्श से हर्ष भयो, तोरे दर्श से हर्ष भयो, मेहरबा दीन आधार, मेहरबा दीन आधार, तुम्हारे जैसी कोई न हस्ती, तुम्हारे जैसी कोई न हस्ती, इस जग में दातार, मेहरबा इस जग में दातार, तोरे दर्श से हर्ष भयो, तोरे दर्श से हर्ष भयो, मेहरबा दीन आधार, मेहरबा दीन आधार, अनुपम सुंदर रूप तुम्हारा, नैना रहे निहार, अनुपम सुंदर रूप तुम्हारा, नैना रहे निहार, कोटि सूर्य का तेज हो फीका, कोटि सूर्य का तेज हो फीका, तुम पर देवे उतार, मेहरबा तुम पर देवे उतार, तोरे दर्श से हर्ष भयो, तोरे दर्श से हर्ष भयो, मेहरबा दीन आधार, मेहरबा दीन आधार, मेहर नाम पे पारी जाऊं, जपू नाम हर बार, मेहर नाम पे पारी जाऊं, जपू नाम हर बार, तुम्हारे सिवा कोई उतर न पावे, तुम्हारे सिवा कोई उतर न पावे, कठिन कठिन भवसार, मेहरबा कठिन कठिन भवसार, तोरे दर्श दर्श से हर्ष भयो, तोरे दर्श से हर्ष भयो, मेहरबान दीन अपार, मेहरबान दीन अपार। क्या महिमा मैं गाऊं तुम्हारी, मैं बालक सरदार। क्या महिमा मैं गाऊं तुम्हारी, मैं बालक सरदार। ब्रह्म शंकर शेष थक गए, ब्रह्मा शंकर शेष थक गए, कोई न पाया पार, मेहरबान कोई न पाया पार, तोरे दर्श से हर्ष भयो, तोरे दर्श से हर्ष भयो, मेहरबान दीन अपार, मेहरबान दीन अपार। महिमा तुम्हारी बहुत रही पर हम अनजान चकोर, महिमा तुम्हारी बहुत रही पर हम अनजान चकोर। चोच भरे बूंदे चुन लिए, चोच भरे बूंदे चुन लिए, तुम्हारे नाम आधार, मेहरबान तुम्हारे नाम आधार, तोरे दर्श से हर्ष भयो, तोरे दर्श से हर्ष भयो, मेहरबान दीन अपार, मेहरबान दीन अपार। तुम ही मेरे वेद ग्रंथ हो, तुम ही हो सब सार, तुम ही मेरे वेद ग्रंथ हो, तुम ही हो सब सार। मधुसूदन को दास तुम्हारा, मधुसूदन को दास तुम्हारा, कर दो बेड़ा पार, मेहरबान कर दो बेड़ा पार, तोरे दर्श से हर्ष भयो, तोरे दर्श से हर्ष भयो, मेहरबान दीन अपार, मेहरबान दीन अपार। मेहर बाबा की जय।
Jai Baba. KL, go ahead.
Jai Bob, everyone. It's a beautiful day, and it's nice to have such a welcome and extensive viewing today. I guess a lot of us, Alan Ray Powell, myself, and Michelle and Marvin, people from Chicago who know Vijay, are looking forward to his concert and talk at 12 o'clock. Joe, I couldn't wait, so I wrote down Joan of Arc, but I'm not going to sing. I'm going to give you first crack at it. But I did want to thank Ruth for singing that Donovan song last night from Zeffirelli's film, Brother, Sun, Sister, Moon. And it kind of jogged my memory that Donovan's song, To Catch the Wind, was one of my favorite songs. So I'm going to sing that today. And a lot of people have sung that, but one of my favorites is by a group called the Blues Project, if you get a chance to hear that. So anyway, I have a Baba quote, one of my favorites, which is, Baba says, meeting what life brings in its wake with contentment is the real test of the surrenderance, love, and faith which a disciple has in his master. His love is true and unchanging because he does not ask for anything. He faces all the good and bad vicissitudes of life with unchallengeable equanimity. Anyway, let's see if we can catch the wind today. In the chilly hours and minutes of uncertainty, I long to be in the warm hold of your love and mine. To feel you all around me and to take your hand along the sand. Oh, but I may as well try and catch the wind. Oh, but I may as well try and catch the wind. When sundown veils the sky, I want to hide a while behind your smile. And everywhere I'd look, your eyes I'd find. For me to love you now would be the sweetest thing, would make me sing. But I may as well try and catch the wind. Oh, but I may as well try and catch the wind. When rain has hung the leaves with tears, I want you near to kill my fears, to help me to leave all of my blues behind. Or standing in your heart is where I want to be and long to be. Oh, but I may as well try and catch the wind. Oh, but I may as well try and catch the wind. Jai Baba to you all, and a wonderful day and Baba's love.
Jai Baba, thank you, Al. Rashni?
Okay, so now we'll have Rati out of our husband-wife duo. Rati, your turn now. Back to the hill, as everybody says. Rati, unmute. Okay, wait, let me send you again. Can you unmute now? Send you the unmute. Yeah. Just restart again, Rati.
काशी क्यों मैं जाऊं काबा, धरती पे अवतार लेकर आए मेहर बाबा। देखो भगवन आए, देखो बाबा आए, देखो भगवन आए, देखो बाबा आए। क्यों मैं जाऊं काशी, क्यों मैं जाऊं काबा, धरती पे अवतार लेकर आए मेहर बाबा। देखो भगवन आए, देखो बाबा आए, देखो भगवन आए, देखो बाबा आए। इस धरती पे बोझ पाप के जब बढ़ जाए, उसे मिटाने धरती पे भगवान है आते। कलयुग में अवतार लेकर आए मेहर, सबके दर्द मिटाने देखो आए मेहर। वही राम कृष्ण बुद्ध ईसा थे, अब है मेहर बाबा। देखो भगवन आए, देखो बाबा आए, देखो भगवन आए, देखो बाबा आए। आए मेहर बाबा के हम दर्शन पाए, दर्शन पाकर जीवन अपना सफल बनाए। जो श्रद्धा पर मेहर दर पर शीश झुकाए, मेहर बाबा उसके बिगड़े काम बनाए। रखो भरोसा मेहर प्रेम पर, वो ही पार लगाए। देखो भगवन आए, देखो बाबा आए, देखो भगवन आए, देखो बाबा आए। छवि प्यारी बाबा की मन को भा जाती है, जिसे देख कर खुशियां मन में छा जाती है। नजर करम बाबा की जिस पर हो जाती है, मेहर नाम की दौलत उसको मिल जाती है। मेहर नाम को जप ले प्यारे, वो ही पार लगाए। देखो भगवन आए, देखो बाबा आए। क्यों मैं जाऊं काशी, क्यों मैं जाऊं काबा, धरती पे अवतार लेकर आए मेहर बाबा। देखो भगवन आए, देखो बाबा आए, देखो भगवन आए, देखो बाबा आए। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
Hey, Baba. Beautiful. All right, Tim, go ahead.
Thanks, Joe. Jay Baba to everyone. I'm going to do a song by Brian Darnell, I'm Not the Man. I guess I learned early on how to stay protected, build a wall around myself, let nobody through. By the gift and debt of love, remain unaffected. Thank God for the loneliness that leads to you. No desires and deep regrets in a constant turning. My mistress was the world, she proved to be untrue. Through corruption and deceit, I saw your pure flame burning. Thank God for the sinfulness that leads to you. I'm not the man that I used to be. Since you gave your love to me, I don't know who I am. Finding myself is the mystery. Take what you require of me, show me who I am. Living in the aftermath, feel like a dead man walking, burned in the fires of love, all I thought was true. Through the ashes and the grief, I hear your true calling. Thank God for the hopelessness that leads to you. I'm not the man that I used to be. Since you shed your grace on me, I don't know who I am. Finding myself is my destiny. Take what you require of me, show me who I am. Take what you require of me, show me who I am. Take what you require of me, show me who I am. Take what you require of me, show me who I am. Take what you require of me. Jai Baba.
Hey, Baba. Beautiful, Tim.
Thank you.
All right. We have time for one more share before we go into silence, and then people can continue to share something after that. So the next person in the queue is Anne. So go ahead, Anne.
Yes. Hello.
Hello.
I don't have a good connection. I hope it will hold. Today would be Pendu's birthday. So I would like to share some memories of Pendu. And when I was living at Merazad in the 80s, he was the oldest of the Mandali. So he was this 80+ old man. And, he had been completely shattered in the Satara accident. His pelvis was broken, he had multiple fractures. So he was full of pain in his legs. He had trouble walking, he needed a walker, then his wrist would hurt from the walker. So for the young doctor that I was, it was quite a challenge. But at the same time, he was always joking. So it was quite easy to be around him. And one time I asked him, I said, I don't understand, you are always in pain. Why are you always joking? And he said, well, it's the jokes that keep me alive. And another thing that was very striking for me is he would very often dream of Baba. And he was always happy to share his dreams. And one of his dreams I really remember, he told me that in his dream, Baba was walking on the road and Baba looked totally exhausted and Baba was alone. So in his dream, Pendu runs to Baba and he showed me how he take one arm of Baba, put the arm across his shoulder to help Baba. And I just was amazed. Here is an old man who can hardly walk himself. And in his dreams, he's still ready to run and sort of almost carry Baba. That was really very telling about his connection to his cousin, Baba, Meher Baba. And there is one more Pendu quote I would like to share. It was after Amartiti. So at that time, Amartiti was going on for 3 days, and Pendu, like all the Merazad Mandali, would move to Mehrabad for the duration. So his usual routine had been completely disturbed. And when he comes back, his legs are very swollen. He's in more pain than usual. And I'm shocked. And his reply to me was, if Baba wants us to suffer, why should we mind? And I was so stunned that I just went and wrote it down because it was something I wanted to remember. So in these times where, everything is upside down and changing, I thought it would be a good thing to remember. If Baba wants us to suffer, why should we mind? Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
That was Bendu.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Avatar.
Meher
Meher
Baba
Baba
ki
ki
jai.
jai.
Avatar Meher
Avatar
Baba
Meher Baba
ki jai.
ki jai.
Avatar
Avatar
Meher Baba
Meher
ki
Baba ki
jai.
jai.
Baba also said this, if you don't want to be old before your time, be cheerful in deed and word and in appearance, most of all in appearance. It is a divine art. Look beautiful. It helps others.
Okay. So, Jai Baba, everyone. Today we have a wonderful, innovative story session whereby every first Saturday of the EastWest Satsang, we shall have stories from all the Baba lovers gathered at the Satsang and Arti. Please think about the story of how you came to Baba or any other Baba story and experience that you would like to share with us that can, just help our heart get more swelled up with Baba's love to hear more and more stories of everyone's lives. So, who would like to go first to share a story with us? It's great to listen to how you came to Baba. So, please, who wants to go first? Barbara, would you like to go first, or was your hand up for the singing earlier? Great, Michelle. Thank you so much. Let's inaugurate the session with Michelle. Michelle, please unmute.
Okay, so it's a bit of a long story, so I'll try to abbreviate. So when I was a teenager, I was doing things I probably shouldn't have been doing. And anyway, I had this vision of this angel without wings that came to my room and said, "You must stop this. This is not your path." And I was probably 17, maybe 16, and I dropped my friends. I dropped what I was doing, and I pulled my life together to a point. And now I had this Who book, which I should have pulled out. So the Who book, it's a Pete Townsend anthology, would open, there's a picture of Baba in it, and it would open to this song, and I would look at it, and I'd read it, and it'd say, "Oh, Parvanjor, I don't know that song," and shut the page. I tell you, this happened 100 times. So, but when I was a small child, when I was about 11, that's not small, my sister and I and her friend were sitting in a circle pretending to be yogis and saying Om. And it occurred to me that Buddha was God, was the same as Christ was God. And I never had a close relationship with Christ. So just go through, I went to college, and I was in Europe, and I was going through Rome, and I was in the Vatican, and I decided there was no God in the Vatican. I decided I don't feel God here. So I think I really didn't know that I was searching for God, but then, I had some other things in Chicago where I was into the Violet Flame and whatever. Then I met Marvin, my husband, and on the wall, there was this picture of happiness lives making others happy. And I was like, oh, that's sweet. And he was a Baba lover. And so what happened was Baba started coming to me in dreams. I had this dream. I had a bunch of dreams with him in it, which I don't recall. But then, so the first meeting I went to was in Armatithi. And then a year later, 6 months later, I started having dreams, and I had this dream where I was sitting in a circle up in the ethers with Baba and some other people. And I thought, wow, that was a crazy dream. But then I dreamt I was in the Holy Land, and there was Jesus. He was on the water. So I was in this olive grove, and there were people milling around. I was kind of up on a hill, and there was this music, this singing that I can't explain. It was so incredibly beautiful. And there was Jesus. He was like this. Now, I did not have a connection with Jesus. I had a connection with Mary. I never felt he was my master. I never felt, I loved God, but I didn't have that. I wasn't his. So there he was, black diamond, coal eyes, emanating bliss, power, everything, but so beautiful, white, flowing like this. He's standing there. And I walked down and I touched his sleeve and I asked him, I was embarrassed that I asked him, when are you going to come and fix the world? And he turned to me, smiled, and he was Meher Baba. And that was kind of, I still thought it a little bit like, oh, this is kind of crazy, a master in this life, really? But there was a thing with yellow roses and pink roses, and that would make the story much longer. But that's kind of how he caught me in his folds. And he really let me know later. I have a song, Love's Flame. He really let me know that he was with me every step of the way, or at least I realized that from high school, because I believe that's who it was who stood there in my room and saved my life, pretty much. And it wasn't for 10 years that I realized that. I was in Baba House one day, like 10 years after coming to Baba, and I saw this picture of Baba, and I remembered that incident. I never thought of it before. I was like, oh my God, and there's a lot more incidences, but I did recently have a dream about 10 days after starting Arti. I went to the part of the Mera celebration on the 20th, Mera's Day, and then I discovered there was Arti every day, and I started coming to Arti, and maybe 10 days later I had this experience where I left and I was in this purple nebula, and it happened two times, and I was nervous. And then the third time I was with Baba, and Betty Lohman was there. And there was all these other Baba lovers there, and Baba was explaining how we were creating this blanket of light. We were creating a circuit of light to go around the planet, that us being together. That was a recent dream that I had with Baba. Anyway, Jai Baba. That's kind of my story. Jai Baba.
That was beautiful, Michelle. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. We have Barbara now, who had raised her hand before the silence. So Barbara will share something and sing for us. Barbara, please unmute. Barbara, did you get the unmute thing?
No.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, gosh, it's just a little a cappella song. I'm just going to start myself with a chord. I wish I could play the chords, but not yet. As around the sun the earth knows she's revolving, and the rosebuds know to bloom in early May, just as hate knows love's the cure, you can rest your mind assure that I'll be loving you always. As now can't reveal the mystery of tomorrow, but in passing will grow older every day. Just as all that's born is new, do know what I say is true, that I'll be loving you always. Until the rainbow burns the stars out in the sky. Until the ocean covers every mountain high. Until the dolphin flies and parrots live at sea. Until we dream of life and life becomes a dream. Do you know that true love asks for nothing? Our acceptance is the way we pay. Do you know that life has given love a guarantee to last through forever and another day? Just as time knew to move on since the beginning, and the seasons know exactly when to change. Just as kindness knows no shame, know through all your joy and pain that Baba's loving you always. As today I know I'm living, but tomorrow could make me the past, but that I mustn't fear. For I know deep in my mind the love of me I've left behind, 'cause Baba's loving us always. Jai Baba. That's it. Sorry, my voice is a mess today.
Jai Baba. Okay. We have Will Rube with us, who has joined us for the first time today and would like to share a little story of his own experience of how he came to Baba, possibly. Will, Will, can you unmute? I've sent you the request.
Okay, can you hear me? Hello? We're good?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, Jai Baba, it's wonderful to be here with everyone, and I am totally unprepared. And my story of how I came to Baba, though, I can relate as concisely as possible. But, you know, my father has been a Baba follower since the 70s, and he was introduced to Baba by Jim Oster in the 70s in Colorado. So when I was born, my father, when I was a young child, my father would tell me about Baba and Baba's teachings about love, and just sort of in a general way teach me about Baba. And then when I was, I think, maybe 9 or 10 years old, and we were living in South Carolina, my father took us to the Myrtle Beach Center in the early 90s, I think it was. And so that was my first time that I really had a direct experience with Baba and sort of feeling Baba's presence for the first time in my life. I think I was maybe 10 years old at the time or something like that, yeah. So anyway, you know, as time went on, my family was not a very religious family in the sense that they didn't, you know, my mother and father did not tell us that this was the belief that we should have, or we should go to this church, or they were very sort of open about it. And my father taught me about Baba, and my mother was sort of agnostic, I guess. So in my mind, I wasn't sure what God was or what God looked like, but I was certainly a believer that there is a higher power greater than us, and I felt that throughout my life. But I was never really ready to give myself to Baba, I guess, in the sense that I was not a very good spiritual aspirant for much of my life. The teaching, the calling was there for me, but it did not reach me in a place where I could really hear it and was prepared to hear it. But a few years ago, you know, my father sat down with me and he said, you know, it's time that if you're going to be the person that you need to be in life, it's time for you to make some changes. And this is what I would like you to do. I would like you to read this book here, The Path of Love, my father gave me this book. It's all torn now. It's a very old book. So I read this book, and I can't really explain what happened, but something just sort of clicked in my brain where I was like, I know that Baba has been calling me my whole life, and I just have not been picking up. You know, I have not been picking up the phone. So I started to read more, and I finally, you know, I said it's time for me to just stop messing around with this and give my life over to Baba as best that I can. And I made the pilgrimage in January, and that's where I met Roshni. I made the pilgrimage to Meher and was there for Amartithi. And all I can say is that as time goes on, I feel closer and closer to Baba. And I know that it's something that I must continue to seek every day. And so that's why I'm here sharing with you all. But I want to share one more thing. When I was in Colorado about a month ago, Jim Oster actually gave me one of Baba's hairs, and it's in this locket here. I don't want to take it out, but this was a hair that was given to Jim Oster by Meher in the 70s, I believe. So, you know, I really don't know what I have done to be so blessed as to receive this gift. I don't feel worthy to have this gift, but I promise I will treasure it and keep it with me for the rest of my life and do the best I can to be a good Baba lover every day. So I think that's all I have to share for now, but I will be sure to continue to join the Satsangs in the future. So thank you, Roshni. So grateful to be here. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, well, that was so beautiful, and blessings for that wonderful gift from Jim. So now we have Rosalie, Rosalie, would you share? I'll unmute.
Jai Baba. Today is my anniversary of 44 years ago leaving for India for the first time.
Oh.
And anyway, it's wonderful, Dr. Anna, you said it was Hindu's birthday. My continuing journey with Baba, I'm so grateful to have gone to India to meet the very, very human Mandali, just to know that their very human lives are what it's all about. I wanted to say one thing that I missed with Dr. Ang when they had the gathering for Go Hair. I wanted to share something with you because Go Hair was very special to me, as she certainly was to you. And she gave me a gamma globulin shot one time. And I know it's a painful shot. I didn't feel anything, like an angel gave it to me. And, you know, there was a time when I was bit by a spider. I don't know if you remember, you get so many people you see. It was Amartithi, and every day you treated me. And I felt that acute and special sensitivity of not wanting to cause me any pain. And it reminded me so much of being treated by Go Hair. I want you to know that. I don't know, it was so special. And it's not always easy, you know, to even give a compliment, but I wanted you to know that. Jai Baba. And these are beautiful little poems that Phyllis Frederick, who loved beloved Baba so much. Even sun avatar sets at last, ringed by flaming clouds of Mandali hearts. Even sun avatar sets at last, ringed by flaming clouds of Mandali hearts. Even sun avatar sets at last, ringed by flaming hearts, flaming clouds of mandali, flaming hearts. And there's one other. On the other hand, if God is so strong, why are his wings beating so softly at midnight on my window to let him in? If God is so strong, why are his wings beating so softly at midnight on my window to let him in? And one other. So, oh, I love this one. These are all by Phyllis Fredericks. Scattering his brightness, he burns holes in my night. Yes, scattering his brightness, he has burned holes in my mind tonight. Now when I look up, I understand the stars. Scattering his brightness, he has burned holes in my night. Yes, scattering his brightness, he has burned holes in my mind tonight. Now, when I look up, I understand the stars. Scattering his brightness, he has burned holes in my night. Yes, scattering his brightness, he has burned holes in my mind tonight. Now, when I look up, I understand the stars. Jai Meher Baba.
Thank you so much for this wonderful share, Rosalie. Havovi Auntie, I'm unmuting you. Please share some treasure story from your life. Havovi Auntie, are you there? I've just sent you the unmute request.
Unmute? Is that it?
Yes. Yes.
Can you all hear me?
Yes,
Jai
we can
Baba,
hear you.
Baba love to each one of you. I'm just recovering from a little sore throat, but I'll give you a short, one of my very short stories with Baba. Something about, it's a very, the way I came from rags to riches is a very, very long story. But because of my connection with Zoroaster, I always felt that I should wear a sadra and kasti. Now, that was what was taught to us, which is a symbol of our Zoroastrian faith. Now, when we started, when my Fredi, my sister-in-law, very dear sister-in-law, we were more like sisters, 8 years apart, but close in heart. So when Fredi also left wearing the sadra, because Arnavas and Banu didn't, and I said, why am I holding on to the sadra? Maybe I don't love Baba. By that time I was convinced, I drank, ate Baba, like I forget the exact words. I drink, eat and breathe Baba, whichever way. Mani used to love that quote. So I said, still this, I'm holding on to my Zoroastrian roots. But Baba has never told me to not. Baba said, be a better whatever you are. If you're a Zoroastrian, then you follow Manashni, Gavashni, Kunashni, good thoughts, good words, good deeds. If you're a Christian, love thy neighbor as thyself. All the teachings are the same. And yet I said, everybody is left, but I'm still holding on. That Baba, the knower of all minds and hearts, wanted to give me, was going to give me the answer. One day in the small Mandali hall, we were all sitting, and Baba raised the subject of, do you wear a sadra? Do you wear a sadra? So it went on like that. Then Fredi and I would usually be sitting together in the Mandali hall. So he asked Fredi. So Fredi said, no, Baba. And what she said, I said, I'm next, and here I am. So Baba asked, tu sadra pere? Do you wear a sadra? So I almost sort of went like, Haji Baba, almost shaking and saying, okay, all right, but if he's going to tell me, finish, I'm going to be leaving it. Baba said, he went like this, very nice. continue. Now, so this was my answer. Now, today, when I meet, today means many years ago, I meet people, they say, are you a Parsi? Are you a Zoroastrian? I said, very much so. Do you love Zoroaster? I said, yes, I love Zoroaster. Baba is Zoroaster. Then do you wear a Sadra Kasti? So now the Sadra part, Kasti, I wear only to keep my choli up, like put it down. But Sadra, I make it a point to wear all the time because I feel that Baba's so sweetly he did, as if answering my query. So when people ask me, they feel that we don't, that they sort of condone it, saying, Baba bhi Sadro pehta tha, Baba would also have Sadra. I mean, look at their thinking. But anyway, it helps me to answer these questions. Now, my Rhoda, my sister-in-law, I'm sorry, my Sarosh is my, how do we call it? My daughter's mother-in-law, Rhoda, said, Baba told you that because you wanted to hear it. You wanted to hear pair, very good and all that, like that. But I feel, so she said, because that was in your mind and you wanted to, he was giving you a positive reply. But for me, it is that he's giving me a reply, not because I wanted it, because he wanted to give it to me for whatever it's worth. And today I wear a Sadra and I'm very happy wearing it, but I'm not so sold on all the Kastis and doing it, so like you're not supposed to, in our Zoroastrian faith, you're not supposed to eat without having a Sadra on us before commencing with a Sadra Kasti prayer and all that. Now all that is gone. In those days, even if I went swimming, I would wear a Sadra on top with a Kasti and then only eat. All this, what should I say, all these attachments are gone, but Sadra is still on, and Kasti goes, and sometimes I go to the fire temple, or they also ask, you don't go to a fire temple? No, I said, yeah, I do go to a fire temple. They're all shocked. They don't understand the connection. But for me, Zoroaster is Baba, Baba is Zoroaster, and so henceforth, I wear a Sadra and thank Baba for all the love and care he's given me, and lots of long stories of how a disbeliever, after 7 years, started loving him. So, Jai Baba. Thank you.
Jai Baba. So beautiful, Habobi Auntie, and this would answer so many people's questions, because there is so much of contemplation between following the organized religion, religious format that we are born and brought up in, and getting lost in the woods of what Baba would truly want. So thank you so much.
Be a better that. Supposing you're a Christian, be a better Christian. Follow real happiness lies in it. If you're a Zoroastrian, follow Manashni, Kavashri, Kunashri. Live that life. Just don't say I'm this and I'm that. Jai Baba, thank you for giving me a chance to air my.
No, thank you, Habobi Auntie, and please every time sing and share with us. Lovely. I have Rita Auntie, who had got disconnected, has come back. So before she gets away again, I would call upon Rita Auntie to read a small poem and tell a little story about her writing. Rita Auntie is a regular at our satsangs, and she beautifully writes for Baba, and it's just pouring of her heart. So Rita Auntie, over to you. Rita Auntie, just unmute your mic.
Yeah. Now you can hear?
Yes. Switch on
can
your
camera.
Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you. Switch on your camera, Rita.
Can you see me?
Your camera is off.
Camera? How to open the camera? It's not working. Camera is not working.
Yes, now we can see you, Rita Auntie. Please begin. 1 second. Unmute again, Rita Auntie.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes. But cannot see you again.
Baba string, cling to me. You can't hear? Hello? You can't hear?
We can hear
Can't hear.
Let's
Your,
just be happy that we can hear.
we can hear you, but your video is frozen.
Video? I don't know why. Hey, these are Babas. Can you hear now?
Yes, we can hear it, Auntie.
Okay, then.
Okay, you read it.
Hey,
You read it.
Don't talk.
Working, then leave it today. Then leave it then. Leave it. Give it a chance to some other person.
No, we can hear you, read, Auntie. Okay. You figure that out. Till then, we will have Meher. Yeah, see, we can see you now. Come on, read it. Sorry, I just want to encourage her.
When the bandwidth is low, you can either hear or you can either see, so she needs to be off camera.
Yes.
And Baba lovers will assemble at EastWest meet to express love in their compassionate form, gush out emotions in Baba's devotion. Their love for him will ooze from their core. Skits, guzzles, dance, bhajans for show will win the heart of the compassionate father. He would acknowledge your murmur of the heartbeats with everlasting blessings and would give a push to the heavenly hours. Those seated high above the sky experience him within or nearby, overwhelmed to sing in the Lord's praise, evident from the Babaful craze. Babaful hug without a shrug, the divine virtual embrace, treat for the eyes to glimpse Baba's grace. Jai Baba.
Lovely, Rita Auntie. Jai Meher Baba. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Meher, Al wants to share something. Al, would you share? Or
Jai Baba, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we
I
can.
want to say hello to all my dear Baba lover sisters and brothers, especially Havovi and Dr. Ann. And as Dr. Ann says, my memories of Pandu were exactly the same as hers. I first met him when I went my first trip, 79, 80. And he always had a smile on his face, was always cheerful. You could sit and talk to him. He was so comfortable and encouraging to be with. I think he was one of the most relaxed mandali that I was with. And I also share something in common with Pendu, because it was suffering that brought me to Baba as well. Pendu says, if Baba wants you to suffer, why complain? Or what's, if Baba wants you to suffer, you suffer, accept it. But in any case, to go to my Baba story, I graduated from the University of Maryland in 1970 and took a trip to Europe, ended in Sicily, where I was born and where my relatives were. And coming back to the States, I took a job at the Treasury Department for a year or so, and then went to Colorado. But when I came back, I was just so miserable. I felt like a failure, like the world had passed me by. My classmates were getting married or in law school or graduate school, and here I was, unemployed, living with my parents. So I remember two things distinctly in that year. One of them was, if I never had more suffering than I had this year, I think I could live through anything. And the other one was this thought, I don't know what life is about, but it couldn't have been meant to be this miserable. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. So I started reading psychology books, and I think that made it worse because you feel like you have the answer, but you're still miserable. Then I started reading spiritual books. And then in 74, actually 73 in the 70s was the worst year, not only the 70s, but of my life, but 74 was one of the best. So I went to this metaphysical bookstore called Yes Bookstore, which was one of the biggest in the States in those days. And in those days, you could find a lot of Baba books. So I came across this little book put out by the Pune group called The Advancing Stream of Life, where there's a mountaintop and humanity is winding its way up to Baba. And curiously enough, in my subsequent trips to India, I bought 12, 15 copies of this book, went back to the same bookstore that I bought it from. I bought it in Pune for 50 cents. sold it to him for $5, and he sold it for $10. But anyway, after that book, I bought Perfect Master, and then Listen Humanity, Discourses. Like I say, in those days, it was easy to find Baba books. I don't know what's happened now. But anyway, so I feel I came to Baba on my own, and it was over a year before I even met any Baba lovers, because my roommate and I moved to Berkeley, California, and I was at the center called the Living Love Center for 6 months. I was in a 3-month program, and then I was a staff member for 3 months, and the director there was a Baba lover, and he had this Baba poster on the refrigerator where Baba's holding the must. It might have been Muhammad, and it says, "True love is no game of the weak and faint-hearted. It is born of strength and understanding." And then I used to go to Baba meetings at the Friends Meeting House, Quaker Meeting House, which I don't know if it's still being used or not. But then I came back, and I was going to the Friday night classes for a couple of years till Mercer thought that that was too much responsibility for the Muirs, the preceptors. So then I got involved with this other church called the Foundation Faith of God, which I became very close to. And I started going to the other group that we had in Washington called the Avatar Meher Baba Gathering in Washington, D.C. And then at the end of that year, 79, I went to India for the first time. And I've made 27 trips to India. And I know that a lot of people in the 60s, 70s, and 80s talk about this romance spirit they have with Baba. Well, Baba's, I think, is saving the romance for me, but he's guiding me through the suffering I've gone through and try to understand that suffering, try to accept that suffering, and trying to, like Pendu, try to stay cheerful. I think I'm a cheerful kind of guy. I always have a smile on my face. I remember I was at the Living Love Center once, and I was sharing with this classmate of mine how something was bothering me, or she said, "You, Al, you're one of the most happy people I've ever met." I said, "I might be cheerful, but I'm not happy." So anyway, if you can't be happy, cheerful isn't too bad. Thank you all for listening. Oh, I will say one thing. I think Baba wanted us to be cheerful, because he'd always say, keep a smile on your face and be cheerful. Though your heart be cut to pieces, keep a smile on your face. So I think for Baba, being cheerful, especially with others and encouraging others, rather than focusing on your own problems, I think that was more dear to Baba than us being happy. Although he says, don't worry, be happy too. Anyway, so much for that. Thank you all for listening.
Jai Baba, thank you so much. And we have Kajal from Mumbai who would like to share. Kajal, please unmute.
Jai Baba. I've just, lately come into the Baba fold, and step by step, it's like he's literally held my hand through this entire getting to know more about him. It's literally like I had never heard of him ever before. And I got a call from a friend one day who we had actually been not in talking terms for like 13 years. And the guy called to wish me on my birthday, and it was like, we are going to Mehrabad on the 25th. And I'm like, where, who, what? I just say, okay, fine, another master, another guru. It's a Baba, so it's okay. We can just go and bow my head down there. When we went to Mehrabad on the 25th of December, it was Christmas, and the place was amazing. Definitely there were a bit doubts in my head because it was all very new, and but the way from that day, this was I think 5 years ago, till now today, it's like the steps he's made me take, through people he's made me meet, it's just been amazing. So it's just Jai Baba to everybody, and thank you, Baba, for even just giving me this opportunity to be able to talk in front of each of y'all and share this. There are so many experiences, honestly, small, big, but like there are so many. There's one I would definitely like to share because this was something was the first time I ever experienced. So I didn't know about Baba. I heard about you ask Baba, he talks to you, he answers you in so many different ways and stuff. And I would be like, okay, theek hai. I got in touch. Somebody got in touch with me for they needed help. So they said that okay, please could you because my daughter studies in the IGCSE board, and they were looking for somebody who could help their son to do the papers. He was I think at that point in time not able to do his papers, so they approached me out of the blue, and I was like, how can I help? And I really got in touch with people, some of my healing group friends, and I thought help will come like pouring in because anybody would want to really come up to help a child do the exams. Some contacted teachers, and but there was a zero. There was nobody who wanted to like come forth. Nobody was like really coming out at that point in time. And so I really got very disappointed. And the mother who actually I didn't know, but the mother also is a Baba lover from Pune, and I didn't know her before. But it just so happened that we spoke, and she said, "Don't worry, Kajal. You're doing your best. Just tell Baba, he will help us out. We're all putting things and efforts together. Whoever has to come forward will come up, will come to help and all that." So I was like, yeah, okay. I just said, yeah, I don't know what's happening, and theek hai, fine. And it came to the point where I gave up. I just said, sorry, I can't do anything. And I told my husband, I said, see, if I don't get anybody else now, I know you're much more intelligent, so please just go and do all the papers. Don't put me down on this. So he was like, okay, I don't care, all that stuff. So, well, that night, I don't know what exactly I conversed or what went through, but I just said, please don't, just this guy really needs help. Just do what needs to be done, yeah, please. To my amusing amazement, next day, there was a call from an unknown parent, unknown person who I did not put up on any group, nothing. The lady called me up and she says, I heard you're looking for somebody to do the papers. So my son has just finished and he can do all the papers. And I was like, are you very sure? So she says, yeah, he's sitting free, he's sitting idle. What can be better than helping a kid's exams? And there it went. I just, it just went through. We were looking for like either a math paper person or a science or an English, like individual separate people to do the papers. But here Baba sent this guy out of the blue, somebody who had finished his papers, and he did all this child's papers. And it was amazing. It was like really to tell myself that yes, Baba heard and he sent the person samne se. So it was a beautiful way to experience what I was hearing from everybody. I would just want to make a short prayer to Baba, thanking him for just taking me in his fold the way it is, and thanking each one over here. So I thank you, Baba, for when I was in search of a guru, you chose me and you pulled me to you. I thank you, Baba. When I fell into the darkness, you raised me and showed me light. I thank you, Baba, that when I had no one to turn to, it's you who welcomed me with your sweet smile and warm hugs. I thank you, Baba, for when I go on and on about my life without an end, you, with your patience, listened and never failed to smile. I thank you, Baba, for when all else failed and I was left with nothing, it's you who've shown me that this isn't the end, and you have always and you do give me the hope. I thank you, Baba, when when I have really needed my family to be there for me at most difficult times, none has stood by me. It has been you who have come, and you have just made everything possible. I thank you, Baba, for everything. You are the one that is even love and bless me for just the way I am, and never have you left me even for a second, no matter how much of a pain that I may just have been to you. I love you, Baba, and I thank you for everything. Thank you, Baba. Thank you for everything. Jai Meher Baba. Thank you, Roshni. Thank you all. Jai Baba.
Thank you to Baba. Thank you to Baba always. Marvin, I unmute for you to share. Thank you for your patience.
Oh, no problem. Okay, this is the story of when I came to Baba. This is 89, and I'd been going through a very tumultuous time in my life. Just to give you an idea, I got my divorce and my visa and my passport all on the same day. Anyhow, I found myself on a flight going to India not to meet Meher Baba, but to just find out who he was, because I'd become very involved emotionally with him, and didn't really understand what it was that I saw yet, but I knew that that's where I had to go. And anyhow, so I got on the flight in Chicago, and I sat down next to a young couple, and they were going to London. And so I was talking with them about London, and I asked them why they were going to London. And they said, well, we're going on our 25th wedding anniversary. And it really depressed the heck out of me because, I had just gotten a divorce after 21 years of marriage. And I was going to India, and I didn't really know how to explain why I was going to India. And so I changed the subject. I started talking about London and the Tate Museum, where I saw all these beautiful paintings by William Turner. And I started describing one of these paintings to these people, and they looked at me very, I don't know, quizzically, because, I'm an artist, and they really were not involved in the arts at all. So the conversation drifted off into nothing, and we got to New York, and they changed planes, and they went to London, and I changed planes and got on a Lufthansa flight to go to Germany, and then from there to transfer to another flight and go to India. So, in the middle of the night on this second flight, I couldn't help wondering what I was doing. Why was I going to India? What had taken over my life? I was leaving my 3 children behind in Chicago with my ex, and I was flying to meet this guy, Meher Baba, or to find out about Meher Baba, and it confused me. And so anyhow, I started questioning my motives. And at that point, the lights went on in the cabin. And the pilot broke in, and he said, I'm sorry, but I can't really explain this, but a number of our main instruments are not functioning at this time. And because of that, we have to make an emergency landing in London. And I went, wow, that's cool. I can go to the National Museum and see the Turner paintings. Wow, this is so cool. This is just unbelievable. And I got so excited. And the stewardesses were going down the aisle and they were passing out bagels and cream cheese, and everything was seeming so beautiful and so perfect. And then I cut myself with a plastic knife. And I stared at my own hand and tried to figure out what was going through me and what was happening and why I was having all these doubts. And so I got up from my seat, and I had been in a wide-bodied plane, you know, like 7 rows across or whatever, 7 seats across or more. And I went over to the stewardess area, and I looked out of the window because I hadn't seen out the window in all this time, and I just wanted to see what was happening outside. And it was very early in the morning, and there were these beautiful pink clouds on the horizon, and the seas were just turning deep greens and blues. And the sky was just beginning to clear, and there were the Emerald Isles in the distance. And it was the painting. It was the painting that I had described to these people in Chicago that were going to London. It was the painting that I saw, and I became just so sort of overjoyed, and I couldn't figure it out, and I was looking at it and just observing it and saying, what a beautiful sight. And then I got up and I started walking to another window to see if there was another painting. And of course it was a different view, and it was not at all like the other view. And then I walked to another opening. There's 6 of these stations around the plane, and I kept walking around and around the plane and looking through each window and seeing the colors and the beauty of this world. And I got back to the original portal, and I looked out, and the skies were no longer pink clouds. They were blue, and the clouds were white, and I put my head down and I said, God, why is it that we have these feelings about things that are just so meaningless? Why do I want to go to London? You know, what difference does it make if I see that painting again? What I really want to do is go straight to India and find out who Meher Baba is, and why I've fallen in love with him. And at that point, I put my head down, and the pilot comes on the air and he says, I've been flying these planes for 40 years. I've never had this happen to me before. All the instruments are working perfectly. We've turned our plane. We're heading straight to Germany. And we'll be landing ahead of schedule because there's a tremendous tailwind that's pushing the plane. So thank you. And then he went off, and I went, yes! And I banged my head on the top of the portal. And I turned around and I saw the steward was staring at me. And I could see in his eyes this expression like, where are we going to lock this nut up? Because I realized that he had been seeing me walking around the ship 10 times, making a revolution and praying in all the windows. And he was wondering what the heck was going through my mind. And I couldn't explain it to him. And so I decided the best thing is to tell him the truth. So I told him, well, you see, I was in Chicago. And I told him the whole truth of how I had wished to see this picture in Europe and of Turner in London. And then the painting appeared to me out the window, and and then it turned and it changed, and I was no longer interested in seeing the Turner painting, and I wanted to go to India. And thank you. And he looked at me and he says, so you're the one. Sit down and stop monkeying around with my plane. So that's what I did. And I went to Germany and then changed planes and got to India and found out about Meher Bheem.
Lost your luggage, but the medical supplies came.
Yes, I lost all my luggage.
Except the medical
except my medical supplies that I had promised to bring.
Mary Biscuit said.
And they got to India, and I was sitting in Bao's office, and Bao was asking me, so what brought you to India? And at that point, one of the doctors came in and said, the medical supplies that you ordered just came, but we don't know how to use them. And I started laughing because I had brought them. And I told Bao what the directions were for the plastic body casts that I brought. And he loved it. I told him the whole story. Anyhow, Jai Baba, I'm sorry.
Wow. Jai Meher Baba, you had us all in tears. Marvin, what a beautiful story. This is my favorite thing in Mehrabad and all our satsang, to just know and gather the treasure of how Baba has got everyone in his web of love and what he keeps doing each day in our lives. Jai Baba to that. We have Meher from Mumbai who wanted to read a story. Meher, please unmute. Meher, please unmute.
Yeah, done. I'm not getting unmuted.
Yes.
Okay. Now the same book, but it's number 4 now. Okay. Roshni?
Same, okay. Meher, same book you say every time, but say the name of the book so that everybody knows the book.
Meher Baba Calling. Meher Baba Calling. I'm just telling you it's the same one. I'm going to finish the whole book. Okay. Lay down your life at my feet. If you truly and in all faith accept your Baba as the highest of the high, it behoves you to lay down your life at his feet rather than to crave for the fulfillment of your desires. Not your one life, but your millions of lives would be but a small sacrifice to place at the feet of one such as Baba, who is the highest of the high. For Baba, unbounded love is the only sure and unfailing guide to lead you safely through the innumerable blind alleys of your transmitted life. They cannot obligate me who, surrendering their all, body, mind, positions which perforce they must discard one day. Surrender with a motive surrender because they understand that to gain the everlasting treasure of bliss, they must relinquish ephemeral possessions they desire for greater gain is still cling and behind their surrender, and as such the surrender cannot be complete. Jai Baba, Jai Baba. After Meher Baba.
Jai Baba, thank you so much, Meher. So before we get into the Dhun, I would like to share a small quick story. It was in 2012. Sorry, it was in 2012, and I had put my request for going for Baba's birthday, like every year. I had just come in Baba's fold in 2010 December, so it was my second year actually of going on Baba's birthday. And we were on waiting list. We were 6 of us and we were put on waiting list. And on 22nd of 22nd night, I get this dream that my 80-year-old father is there, 88-year-old father is there with me in the samadhi. And my father had stopped going out for long due to several medical reasons and so on. So there was no question of traveling with him as such. And I see him in the samadhi, and I feel as if Baba is saying that I have to get him with me for the birthday. And I'm trying to argue with Baba that, oh, I'm myself on the waiting list, and how can it happen, and how can I take him in a day's time, and so on. But at the end of it, I feel as if, it's more of a command in the dream that you have to get him. So the next day I get up and all enthusiasm, I tried to call up MPR, and I said, let me first find out if there is a space in the male section. And I didn't need one space, I needed 3 spaces because I had my caregivers who would need to travel with dad, one of my driver and one other boy who stays with me at home. So I just prayed to Baba and I called up. And Ritesh picked up the phone over there, and I asked Ritesh that, I'm just about to mail for my father, and I really wanted to know if there was any space in the mail section. So he said, no, everything is full. Baba's birthday, how can you even imagine that there would be space? You yourself are on waiting list. I said, yes, I'm on waiting list, but tell me if there is space in the men's section. And he says, no. Now, by the time the birthday happened, the other 5 who were on waiting list had dropped out. But I had stuck on, and I said, whatever it is, I'll take chances till the end. So I told him, no, Ritesh, please see, have one look, and there must be some space. Can you see if the room attached to the toilet section is there? So he laughs. He says, I'm telling you there is no space, and you're telling me and asking me about a specific room next to the toilet. So I said, Ritesh, once just check, and if it is there, then I will shoot out this mail right now. But my father is 88, and I got this dream, and I really want to do my best to try and get him. So he says, okay, give me 5 minutes. He gets up. I don't know who was on duty at that time. So he goes, he speaks, he looks at the computer possibly and comes back. And he says, no, I don't think this is possible. I said, what? No, I don't think it is possible. But since it is there, I'm telling you that, yes, the ground floor room attached to the toilet is available. I said, what are you saying? Is it? It's saying, yeah, and all 3 beds are available in that room. I don't know how, because we were completely full. I said, okay, you just hold on. I'm sending the mail out right now. Please bear with me for 10 minutes and don't do any booking right now. He said, no, I cannot do that. If it comes, I said, okay, I leave it to Baba and I will just send the mail out. So I quickly hung up and I shot out the mail, and then obviously they would have checked, and I got a reply back that he is gone. Now he's got the booking for all 3 people 1 day away from our travel on 24th, on 23rd, but I'm still on waiting list. So yet again, we still just go ahead, and I tell my father that I'm on waiting list, so I might stay somewhere else. And he's little hyperventilating because he's traveling after so long. He had a prostate problem, so he couldn't even control and travel for 5 minutes to go to the loo, when he wanted to. And he was like, why are you doing this to me? Why you are taking me when you can't be with me and all? I said, don't worry, Baba is going to take care. Dad, he's your father as well as mine, so don't worry about it. And we just left, and then at the lunchtime in the afternoon, when we were there, everybody was asking, and I said, no, I don't have space to stay. And they say, are you ridiculous? Why would you take a chance on a birthday? Next to impossible that there is any cancellation on a birthday. I said, okay, I'll figure out, and I'll come early in the morning to be with Dad and so on. Nonetheless, I went, with my friend Simin at that time, where she was staying down near Meher Darbar, and we had some chai and we hung around till evening. And I said, no, I just know that before Arti, there will be a space for me. So he says, okay, Jai Baba to that, and we left it. And true enough, as we sat in the car to drive to the Arti, my dad and my, caregiver and the driver had come to pick me up from near Meher Darbar where I was. And just as we stepped into the car and moving towards the Samadhi for the Arti, Ritesh calls me up that there is a cancellation and they have given you a space. And I was just, there was no thanks. Thanks was way, I would say, useless even to say to Baba for that. And I was so much deep in gratitude, not for getting the space, but for him to get my father over there. And then when we on birthday went at the Samadhi over there, after almost 38 or 39 years, my father could bend down first ever time after his chronic arthritis for all those years, where he always used to pray that I can't bow down in our fire temple and things like that. And for the first time, I was holding him on one side, but he went down at the Samadhi. And then at breakfast, he tells Naushirwan Anzar, who I met at the first time and came to know that he's the cousin of my dear old childhood friend. And when we got talking, my father, who had not told this to me, is telling Naushirwan that just 2 weeks back before Baba's birthday, he was talking after doing his Zoroastrian prayers that, my daughter is so much into you, I don't know who you are, and before I die, at least take me one time to your place to see where you live. And I just want to know where you are. And she keeps talking about you and your place. So in Gujarati, he says, Ek baar mane lai jajo. I also want to see your abode. And, I don't know when I'm going to conk off. But before that, you please see that you take me. And he says, oh, I didn't know that in 2 weeks he will listen to me. And so much in jaldi, in haste, he will get me to his place. And more so ever least, my dad did not know how much chaotic it is on birthday. So just big Jai Baba to that, and that's how Baba keeps doing his remarkable things all our lives, and yet says that he doesn't do any miracles. So miracles of his love and miracles of his faith. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai to that. So just give me a second. I will play the Dhun now. And the Arti before we finish. Sorry, in all my enthusiasm, I forgot to keep it ready, otherwise I always...
Baba, Meher 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 Baba.
अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
Oh, glorious, eternal, ancient one, your face is a bright, transcendental sun. Light and this dark world and the tears I weep. My heart, Meher, I give to you to me. Create glorious creationless you are. Truth and truth's body, divine avatar. Through compassion, God's three worlds maintain. Destroy this ignorance that life sustains. Its five lights are the whirling spokes of breath of the world wheel that bears me on to death. Unless you are infinitely kind, breaks the will of which is conviction mind. Its incense is my love, these fruits my heart, which to please you I have shaped from my heart. Accept them as you would a simple flower that has no use beyond its shining hour. For myself I sing to you in praise, and beg your love to bear me through the days. Till you, the ever-living perfect one, illume my darkness with your shining sun.
Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. We'll have 1 minute of silence.
And what do you know about the place? Do they have good references?
Very amazing. Very amazing sharing.
Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Meher Baba Katashi.
Wow. Amazing, just amazing meetings, amazing sharings.
Really? Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you.
Is Mr. Chitranjan there? I can't see him.
There's some weird things that I've been having with the settings. So anyway, we can talk about that. But now you can unmute.
That was so beautiful.
Whoa.
Sure. There was a picture of Baba, the second to the last picture. Baba is looking out the window. I've never seen that photograph before. That's an amazing photo. Dr. Ann, I sent you a private message. I don't know if you saw it.
Yes, my dear, I replied.
Oh, I didn't see it. Oh, okay. I mean, we don't know, Baba willing. We have no idea. It would not be for I want to go for
Couple
Amritithi
years.
in maybe 2 years because our son is still, he has 2 more years of high school. So
Yeah. Right now, it doesn't seem possible to travel, but
no,
it will
now
come again. It will come again.
yeah,
In
and
his
yeah.
time, in Baba's timing.
And do you know if Baxter delivers dialysate fluid in the country? I don't even know. See, those are things I don't know.
I don't know. I would have to find out. I don't know.
Um,
But they have dialysis center everywhere, so they must have some fluid.
travels with because it's PD. He's not hemo, he's PD, peritoneal. So I don't know if he really wants to go. I'm not going to force him, but I don't know. It's up to him. It's up to Baba.
It's up to
God
Baba.
knows
Of
this
course, of course.
right now. So who knows?
Let's hope that we can have Arti here on Zoom all over the
We have
world.
to live day to day here.
That's first thing that we have to
Live in the present.
Hang on to both hands and don't let go of the hand of truth because right now I think Baba's really putting us through
The new life.
the new humanity and yeah.
That's
So,
very good, Marilyn. Yes, we're in the new life.
This is,
Hello.
this is I don't know. Some of you may know the song I've played. This song, which one is One Breach. There's a song, One Breach, that I wrote. And when I was writing that song, the chorus, one of the choruses, there lies love in each of us. And I have to tell you that when I was writing that, I was specifically thinking about the people I cannot love right now. And there's certain people you can guess who I'm speaking of. The head of our Senate,